None of us like the pain during the time of transition, especially the pain caused by shame, isolation, and fear. Our tendency could be to kill the pain at any cost. This episode will help you with a strategy to accept and live with the pain. Hello, how are you all? I'm here again. This is Father Bony. And we are going through this Wow series. And in this Wow series, I have been journeying with you, discussing some strategies that helped me, especially when I encountered a real time of difficulty, which helped me actually to become a better version of myself. Thank you for journeying with me, and your time listening and reflecting. It's valuable. Together we are reflecting, and together we are journeying towards hope. We can be informed. We can read a book. We can go to a school. We can join a course. We can be informed. And we can be formed. We can hire a coach. We can get some direction, a spiritual director, or a psychologist, or a therapist, maybe a priest, a wise person in our community. They can form us. But to be transformed, I believe it is the work of grace. It is the work of the divine spirit, and I want to call it the Holy Spirit. A lot of the time, most of us, especially in my life, transformation did not occur because I decided, today I'm going to be transformed. Let me do this. +1 + 2 is equal to 2. Yay, I'm transformed. It didn't happen to me like that. As we have been discussing with the overarching theme of change, which is brought out by sin, which means I was having this first half of life, enjoying everything in it, trying to design my identity, my image as a priest, and then something happened to me, and then I came to the valley. So my journey of transformation did not happen because I was really made a decision to change in my life, and I had point 1, point 2, point 3, and I was so determined. I had a great growth mindset, not because of that. I came to a place of transformation because of my own sin, my own failures. Blessed drawbacks in our life, blessed setbacks in our lives that brought us transformation. But as we have discussed before, every transformation time, especially one that is brought out because of our own failures, is an isolating time. So you may ask, where do we belong? To whom we belong in this time of change? In my case, I'm an extrovert person. I'm still an extrovert person. I love the company of people. I had so many friends. In my first half of life, in the first mountain, a lot of friends being with me. There was no time to be at home. It's always out and meeting with people and going for walks and going for runs. Even if I go to the gym, I would call a friend, let's go out together to the gym, or even going to clubs to play. It was always out there with people, social butterfly, extrovert person. From that such social life, I came to a place by myself. In a new place because I built an ark. Not many people know me. I don't know many people. It's a new place of isolation. I was given a lot of time at that place. So there was this great need to belong. In one of the previous episodes, we actually discussed about the great need to be connected because we are lonely, and we said we have to become our own best friend in the valley. In the same way, there is a great need for belongingness. So the question is, in a time of change, where there is pain, misery, anger, frustration, anxiety, and shame, where do we belong? Because we are actually literally cutting off a lot of people, cutting off a lot of connections. So how do we belong? Where do we belong? We belong to the change. It is a bit, you think, oh, what are you talking about? Yes, we belong to the change. We belong to the valley. I will explain this through my own experience in life. Now, when we say we belong to the change or the valley, we have two ways of being during the time of change. In my own experience, when I worked in my counseling with some of other young men who went through struggles, I found that when we go through crisis, there are two ways of looking at it. One, to become a victim, or to become an avenger. Let me describe this, and you probably know this, but let's discuss this together. A victim, that, oh, I am a victim of my own upbringing, my childhood, something, I had a terrible relationship with my father, a terrible relationship with my mother, my family background is so bad, oh, so because of that, I committed this sin, so I blame my family, I blame my surroundings, I blame my friends, I blame the community who did not support me. Ooh, that is the blame game. I'm a victim, I'm self-pitying, and I go to everyone and talk to everyone about how miserable, how sorry I am about myself. So please feel sorry to me. Please feel sorry with me. So that is one way of existing, especially embracing change. When we are in that valley, we can feel like that. I'm a victim, and I really want to sell my image as a victim, and I want everyone to buy that image as a victim and celebrate my victimhood. Pity party me. Take me out and mop my pain and give me tissue so I can blow my nose. Other way of being in the time of change is avenger. Really angry. And I personally experienced a friend of mine who is going through that place. He went through a terrible time of difficulty, obviously because of sins that he may have committed. And my way of reaching out to him was trying to help him to accept the reality, accept the change, but he was actually blocking me off. What I have seen in that particular person was anger. Like he really wanted to revenge the people who apparently caused him shame. It is because of his own failures he had to come out of a particular workplace. Instead of understanding the realities in his life, instead of working on some of the things he had to change, he was on a different mode. He was like, I am going to avenge them. They did something this to me. They should not have done this to me. My wife is a terrible person. No, she called the child safety, and now the child safety officers came and they arrested me. They put an AVO against me. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to post on the Facebook and Instagram and every single social media. I'm even going to do a reel about my wife, how mean she is. She's apparently sleeping with some other people. So I'm literally being so angry. I'm going to do everything that's kind of tarnish the name of my wife. I'm not going to learn from this mistake. I'm perfect. I don't have any mistake. So these two ways of being is possible when we faced with change in the time of valley. Being a victim and finding people and voices that celebrates my victimhood, glorify my victimhood, so I feel some sense of comfort. Or being an avenger who feeds into my anger. Yes, you should ask her. Yes, he's a terrible guy. Kick him out. People who put more fuel into my fire. So my anger is burning. Want to consume everything that kind of put me into this place of shame. This avenger, being avenger and being a victim. We should not belong to these two realities. In the valley, we should belong to the change. What do I mean by that? I begin to belong to change. I begin to belong to transformation. The moment I said to myself, I have to die. You know, there is a saying in the Bible, in the gospel. Jesus says to Peter, the Son of Man must die. And I said that to myself. Here I am. I don't want to be a victim because I know the sins I committed. I know there are things that needs to be changed. I know there are the attitudes, the way of thinking, my character issues. And there are things I have to look into my past and take it to a counselor, take it to maybe a coach and look at it closely and see what all things I need to change, what all things needs to be healed, integrated. Yes, I know my own sins. This is a graceful time. And I don't want to be angry. Yes, things that happen to me is unfortunate. There are people mocking at me. There are people who think, look at him. He's fallen down now. Who he was. There may be people who be sarcastically looking at my downfall and really rejoicing in it. I don't want to go after them and being avengeful and revengeful. But rather, I see this as an opportunity. Yes, I have fallen down. Yes, this is a God-given moment for change. The Son of Man must die to rise. I have to be broken so I can be remolded. I am taken into fire so I can be formed into a different shape. The moment I said to myself, I have to die to rise again, I belong to the valley. That time, I belong to the valley. That is the moment of belongingness. I still remember that. I was coming out of an assessment by professional. I was driving to a place and I called my friend and I was so angry with that guy and I expressed all my anger in that phone conversation, literally swearing like I should not have done that, but I was doing that. But after all those tantrums and wailing and complaining and angry accusation, that night I sat with my assessment report and I looked at number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And I said to myself, yes, they are true. That needs to change. That needs to go. I accept it. And the moment I accepted it, I begin to belong to the valley. Everything in the valley is now my friends. Shame is my friend now. Anger is my friend now. Fear is my friend now. Anxiety is my friend now. Because they are part and parcel of being and going through change. Because I accepted it. I'm no more running away from it. I'm no more trying to, make it into an anchor. I'm trying to bring justice and sort of my wrath into others. But rather, I accepted it. Now, all this reality in the valley, whether it is loneliness, isolation, shame, fear, frustration, everything is my friend because that is part and parcel of the valley. I embrace the cross. And what is cross? It is a Persian concept that you should not belong to the sky, you should not belong to the earth, but you should be suspended between heaven and earth. And if Jesus hadn't accepted that cross, do we wear the cross around our neck? Do we have crosses in public squares? Do we have crosses in our churches? It is purely because Jesus embraced it. It became a symbol that is transformed into new life. Symbol of liberation, freedom, victory over death. So when I accepted that I need to change, I started to belong to the change and the valley. So another strategy, while I was belonging to the valley, that helped me was healthy distractions and not self-medicating. What do I mean by that? When I left all my friends and built an ark into a new existence, I was in a particular place studying a course. I didn't have any of my friends from the first half, all by myself, and nobody knew in the new place that I was a priest. Some random student came from this place studying. But then there, I found some new friends who had no clue who I was in the first mountain, who I was in the first half of my life, what I was going through. They had no clue. They just saw, another student, he's a bit funny, we can hang out. So I had healthy distraction with these new friends. We went out for bushwalking, we had time of house parties, we celebrated each other's birthday, they went to play cricket and badminton. I had some physical exercise with them. We had some times we were jamming sessions. So it was all good. It was healthy distractions for me. Then, in that particular time of belonging to the valley, I also found out who my real friends are. Some of the people who knew me from my first half stopped calling me. They stopped calling me. They think, Father Bony, I think he's disappeared. We will look for something else. That's the another lesson I learned, that you are not indispensable. Everyone can be replaced. Some of the friends did not call me because they didn't want to put me into shame. Some friends just forgot about me because me don't matter to them. But some friends, when you go through pain and struggle, you will come to know who are your real friends. I know there are few friends who literally call me and I did not attend to them. Then what happened? They came to the place I was, my ark. They came. They wanted to see what I was seeing around me. They wanted to feel how I was feeling. They wanted to experience everything that I was going in the valley. So in the valley, when we belong to the valley, we will come to realize who our friends are. And I really love these friends who came and looked for me. So God has given me healthy distractions in this time of change. A set of friends who doesn't know me, absolutely no idea who I was. So I could hang out with them without being judged or hearing the voice of shame, which anyone who makes me anxious. But rather I could hang out with these people, enjoy the day-to-day life and go through it. Then God gave me very dear friends. In Proverbs we read there are friends and then there are other friends who become your family, who become your brother and sister in adversity. And that is what happened to me. There are few friends I knew from my first half in life. And now I know they did not love me because I was a successful priest or successful preacher. They just loved me for who I was. So they came in search for me. They came to my valley. They see how ashamed I was. They see me, how afraid I was, how anxious I was. And they become part of that shame. They become part of that anxiety. They become my friend. So God gave me two set of friends. Then God gave me another distraction, which was my study. Why I say healthy distractions is important in the valley? Because there is a temptation to self-medicate. What is self-medication? Alcohol? Drugs? Maybe even sex? Because I'm going through this change. The place I am in is a place of shame. There are things that I have to do. My wife doesn't accept me into the house. I can see my children only on weekends. And that is even, I have to be monitored when I see my children. Even if I call my son, he doesn't want to talk to me. I cannot go to work because apparently I'm under workplace compensation scheme. I'm always monitored by my employers whether I am driving to pick up children or driving to do chores for the family. And if I do, I get caught. It is a place of shame. And I don't want to bear this pain. I don't want to go through this. So what I want to do, I want to kill my pain. I want some painkillers. And the easiest painkiller is substance abuse. Drink, 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 so I forget my pain. We can have healthy distractions when we go through the valley. Some of the friends with whom, without really exposing our true identity, we can hang out. And they will love you because we are another human being who loves fun. Then there are other friends who they were friends. Now in our pain, when they join, they become our family, our brother and our sister who carries the cross with us. Then we engage in some studies which will take our mind off at the same time, which helps us with our transformation journey. My dear brothers and sisters, if you are going through a time of change, you feel not belong to anything, please realize you belong to change and every reality of change. Embrace every single realities of the change, the pain, the shame. Love it. Embrace the cross. They lashed him, he accepted it. His own best friend betrayed him. His own Peter denied him. He was naked in front of his own mother. But he did not run away from it. He knew if he accepted that call, it is all part and parcel of it. He was belonging to it. My dear friends, we can have healthy distractions, but we should never self-medicate. If we self-medicate, we are pausing change and transformation. Let's jump into the fire until the fire burns away everything that brought us to the valley and make us new. So I wish you all the very best if you are going through a time of change. I will see you again in our next episode discussing some strategies to survive a time of transition. God bless you.
Are you searching for purpose of life? Discover your true identity. Stay tuned to Shalom World.